Good evening. It's Professor Mueller, and I've had a few questions about the active lessons, so I thought I would create this video and just go through a couple to let you see examples that have been done correctly, and that way you are able to decide if what you are thinking or what you're working on at this point is what I am expecting of you. And I think because I've had a few of you send some emails about how to attach things and this and that, I can move back the due date for this until Friday. So I really would rather you get this done correctly than to just rush through it to submit something. So first question, where do you submit your active lesson? So depending on the grade level that you have been assigned, that is where you are going to upload your active lesson. So if you can see, this is the 2 to 315 class. This is the second grade folder, and I have 3 in here already, and I'm going to click on these so you can see. So here's the purpose, the SOL, Math 2.7a, and so a couple of you have asked about the standards, if you have to do an entire standard or subsections. You choose one of the objectives within the overall standard. So this is a good example. Math 0.27a, the student will count and compare a collection of pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters whose total value is $2 or less. That's what you will put right there. Here in the materials, excuse me, you list what's needed. And this student linked a video about the worth of coins and then a PowerPoint that will allow the teacher to use with this lesson. And so that is what is expected of you. And if I click on this link, the slides open up. So when you create your supplementary materials, that's exactly how you can link it directly into the document. If you need to add something else and you don't want to link it into your lesson plan, you can still load it into that folder, but make sure you're very specific about naming it with your name and Math Active Lesson 2.7a so that there's no question how the two connect. And I want to go into one of the others. This one is a resource identification relay. So we have the social studies standard here, the description, and so social studies 2.8, I will go back and so Tegan, if this is yours, if you could add exactly which specific standard this is addressing. And then she's done a nice job here down at the bottom of adding the other material. So she's just added on to this existing document. So you have a couple different ways to go about it. And I wanted to show you this one. I'm going to go, just going kind of slow. Okay, so students will determine whether two words are synonyms or antonyms, Language Arts SOL 2.7c, and again here I want the actual SOL, so just copy and paste that into this section on the lesson plan. She's actually put the link to her Google slide in this section, and then she's also added it down here at the bottom along with the list of antonyms and synonyms used in her slideshow. Okay, so that really is the expectation for the active lesson. Again, you're going to visit the Fit for Kids website. You're going to look at some of the ones that they have and then base your active lesson. You can kind of go off of one of their ideas, but I really want it to be something unique to yourself. And if you haven't done this yet, remember, if we go in the online direction folder, you should see a blank copy of the lesson, and it looks like maybe someone's replaced taking a blank one out of here, so I'll make sure to put another blank copy in there. And then you go into your grade level folder and you're going to add your active lesson. I think there were a couple questions about the podcasts and videos, and it looks like nobody's done that so far for this class. And so remember, on the directions, I'm going to go to that sheet. And if you scroll down towards the bottom, where I have the list of how you know what, that's my son getting a bowl. Oh, this is not the right one. I apologize. If I scroll down to the bottom of this one, you will see that Grace right here has a second grade math lesson for her active lesson. And then Grace is also doing a podcast or video on the topic of indoor play ideas. So everybody in the math column is doing a podcast or video based on indoor play. If you're in the science column, you're doing the podcast or video on mindfulness or breathing. But your active lesson, so Emily, Val, Bridget, Kelly, Carla, excuse me, and Rosie are going to do a science lesson based on their grade level that they've been assigned, but then their podcast is going to be specific to mindfulness and breathing. A couple people asked if they were supposed to be combined. So these are two different things. Your active lesson, the subject is at the top of the column where you see your name. Your grade level is to the left, and then your podcast or video topic is right here. And then what you will do is you come into this folder, and if you have indoor play ideas, you'll actually load that in here, okay? And I will come into the other class folder so that you can see how a couple of them have been done. And so here, these two students, they did their podcast on outdoor activities. And I can give you a quick snippet of, I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing.
Hello, wonderful students and caretakers. My name is Samantha. I know that we spent time here. We are all very excited to get outdoors and start playing. You are just going to get your paintbrush and water, and you'll be back to the same natural items that can be found in your backyard. These nature, in order to chalk and pavement. What you're going to do is just create a right next to it. And try different variations of this game, such as the one I like a lot because it gives very specific instructions.
So that's just a quick example of what this student chose to do. And then here under podcast, you can look in this folder, and she's done a podcast on indoor play ideas. And I'll click on this quick so you can just get an idea if you haven't done it yet.
Hey guys, my name is Widad, and today I'm going to be talking a little about indoor play and why it's important. Especially in today's world where we are limited to how much we can go outside, it is so important that we talk about ways to keep ourselves entertained while also keeping our bodies moving. Typically, we naturally want to spend more time quicker at responding, solving problems, and critical thinking. Yeah, that's right. Moving and playing actually makes you better at math.
So that's a great example of a podcast using that app Podbean. I think I've covered all the questions. I will get back in tomorrow probably and look through some of the folders and make sure everybody's done what's needed. I will also go back in and make sure there's a blank copy of that lesson plan. And again, your lesson plan now, if you want to go back in and double check if you have submitted or make sure that you've done it correctly, you've listed the SOL, and then I will just have that due. You can have that in by Friday, that's fine. And I will also send that out as an email. Okay, so again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Hopefully this clears things up. I hope you're doing well, and I look forward to seeing what you're going to create. Okay, take care. Bye.